Hi everybody and welcome back to the channel. My name is Alton and I'm so glad that you could join me today. I have something really neat to show you. When the owner of Zenea watches contacted me and asked if I would like to check out his upcoming Eula diver, I couldn't wait to get my hands on it. The designs that I saw on Instagram instantly appealed to me and I'm excited to show this to you. Now, this is a Canadian watch. And I know when you think of Canada, you probably think of beavers, funny colored money, Mounties, but probably not Microbrands. However, this is the second Microbrand that I have reviewed in as many months. And there's actually a pretty big watch scene in Canada, including the Microbrand scene. So why don't we check out this Eula diver from Zenea Watches. It comes in this awesome red box. It's a Canada red, which is a theme that you're going to see throughout the review. And it comes in this beautiful box, perhaps one of the nicest boxes that I've had on the show. The artwork on the outer lid of the box is the same on the case back. Now the case back features a custom art case back with two heraldic dolphins swimming in a concentric circle. And this is to represent the continuity and never-ending nature of time, at least according to the author of Zenea Watches, and I have absolutely no reason to doubt him. All I know is it's pretty wicked cool. When you open up this box, you are greeted with this sight. And I have to say, my initial impressions, although I wasn't able to shoot an unboxing, were very, very good. I think I said, wow, when I opened up the box. It is a very, very nice watch. Taking this out for a second, there is a spare link in there. There is also an extra strap in the box, and we'll get to that a bit later. But let's move the box out of the way so we can check out this awesome diver. So this is the very first watch from Zenea Watches. It's called the Eula Diver. And this watch is a beautiful watch. The case is 41 millimeters, which is a very wearable size. The lug to lug is 48. Again, for those of you with smaller wrists will appreciate that it's under 50 millimeters. The lug width is 20 millimeters, so you'll have no trouble finding straps for this bad boy whatsoever. And the case thickness is only a 12 millimeter. Now, that might not sound that impressive, but when you consider what it says there on the dial, 300 meter water rating. So that case thickness becomes impressive because you have to build a robust watch in order to achieve 300 meters of water resistance. It's a screw down crown, obviously, sapphire glass with inner anti-reflective coating, which I have found works really well. You can kind of see that there. There's quite a lot of reflections in my office, and yet you can see right through there to the hands, to the dial without any issue. Inside the Eula diver is an ETA 2824-2, which you should all be pretty familiar with. The ETA 2824 is an entry-level Swiss movement that you will find in a lot of watches, although it is being phased out in Microbrands and watches that aren't related to the Swatch group. It's a great movement. I only have one unmodified ETA 2824. I have a couple Hamiltons with a H10 movement in it, so it's a modified ETA 2824. But these ETAs are fantastic. The one I do have runs consistently at -1 second a day. So, I mean, you really can't beat that. It's a fantastic movement for a watch at this price point. And we'll talk about price at the end of the video. Sapphire, of course, is fantastic to have. That air coating is fantastic to have alongside all of this. What I really noticed right away was that ceramic bezel insert. It really, really shines in a deep, deep black. Now, this model is called the Volcanic Obsidian Black model, and it was my favorite model from all the pictures on Instagram. It's the one that I requested, and I was so happy that I was able to receive this version. That seconds hand that you see moving around oh so nicely is actually a Canada red color. He took the Pantone color from the Canadian flag, and you'll see at the markers at the 5, 10, 15, and so on. And of course, that second hand, you have that Canada red. So while this is a Swiss-made diver, it's Canadian designed, and it has that nod to Canada. And it is important to note that it is a Swiss-made diver. It says Zenea there at the 12 with their logo. Let's go ahead and unscrew the crown. I want to get this close to the camera as I do so. Hear that? It has a beautiful pop. Everything feels great, as you would expect. And there's a good shot of that applied logo. The hands are silver, filled with lume. The indices are applied. There's sort of a wedge shape at most of the positions, except of course that 6 and 12 where you have those big, beautiful numbers. It's got hacking, as you can see, hand winding, as you would expect. Now why don't we go ahead and get this off the cushion so we can take a better look at the bracelet. The bracelet is a very, very nice bracelet. It has screw links, so provided that you have a small screwdriver at home, you'll have no problem with that. Unbuckling the clasp. It has solid end links, as you would expect. And it's hard to see with the bracelet on, but there is that case back. Beautifully done. It's deeply engraved with a sort of pebbled finish, blasted finish around the outside of it. Very, very nice. It has a diver's extension, which is graduated. So I actually wore it for a bit like this when my wrist swelled. It was pretty handy. It's got some micro adjust there, and it just looks good. It feels good. I really like it. It's all nicely brushed. And since the top of the lugs are brushed, that works really well. The case. Now you have to remember that this is a prototype model, so it's been passed around from reviewer to reviewer, but the case has a beautiful polished finish on the side. It has a chamfered edge, and then brushing on the top, which leads to the brushing on the bracelet itself. Very, very nice. Screwing that down into the case is very, very easy. Very, very easy. What about the bezel? The bezel has a very good feel to it. Everything aligns the way it should. Very little back play on it. Just feels solid the way a good dive watch should. Now the really cool thing about this bezel that you need to see is the lume. So why don't we turn out the lights and do a lume shot. Now it is kind of difficult right now for me to get full darkness here in this office, but take a look at that lume. It has awesome blue lume on the indices and the numbers, and then a green lume on the hands, the pip on the seconds hand, and on the bezel. This thing looks really, really cool at night, especially in the dark, especially when it's fully charged. It is just beautiful. And here is the Eula diver on my 8-inch wrist. I didn't even have to size the bracelet. It just fit me perfectly. And I was quite happy for that. Although I will say, if I eat too many potato chips, I might want to just open up that extension on the diver just a little bit. This watch wears incredibly well. The lugs turn down significantly, so it really hugs your wrist. Although this is a very robust diver with a high water rating, it still manages to be pretty slim, all things considered. I think this would easily slip under a lot of cuffs on your dress shirt if you wanted to wear this to the office, and you could wear this to the office. It has a sporty vibe with those bold 12 and 6 numbers on it, but it is a gorgeous, gorgeous watch. A lot of reflections, a lot of shine, as you can see. The quality of materials is apparent. when you check out this watch. This is something that's going to have a little bit of shiny bling on your wrist, but I think in a good way, especially this deep obsidian black. I mean, that is just beautiful. I could see myself wearing this as a daily watch to the office on the weekend. I would absolutely love this. Of course, it's not a dress watch. I'm not suggesting you want to wear it to your formal event, but I think day to day, this is a fantastic, robust, well-made, good-looking watch. Now, this is not a production model. There's going to be some changes to the production model. For example, the screw on the screw-down crown will be anodized red, and so that will help you know before you go into the water whether your crown is screwed down properly or not. That's a fantastic touch. There's going to be additional layers of Swiss Super Luminova. It's BGW9 lume that's going to be applied to the markers and hands. Watches will have a slight bevel added to the date window in the non-meteorite version. And yes, I said non-meteorite version. We'll get to that in a moment. The steel bracelet and the leather straps are all going to have quick release spring bars. And that's a fantastic thing. I did not actually change out the strap, but it did come with this very nice strap with the red accents. I think that would look very, very good on this watch. And this one does have the quick release. This bracelet does not. It does have screw links, which is fantastic, but I did not want to mess up this model since there are very few of them right now in the world. The meteorite dial model, hour and minute hands, are going to be changed from blue paint to a blue anodized finish. And I think that's going to look spectacular. Now, I did say that there are many options available. This is the volcanic obsidian black. There's also a snowcap classic white, which is very, very nice looking. Japanese gardens blue, ocean hornet yellow, which is quite striking, and time and space meteorite dial with a blue bezel. I think that no matter which colorway you choose, you absolutely can't choose wrong. Now, this brand is interesting. It's not a Kickstarter brand. It is self-funded by the founder. And so he has poured his heart, his soul, and his finances into this Eula diver, and I think it really shows. So if you want to order one now, you're not looking at too long of a wait to get your hands on one of these. And if you do want to get one of these, if it resonates with you, you're going to want to order now, because the launch sale price is $599 US, and that includes shipping. That's a 30% discount. After the discount is no longer applied, it's going to be $865 US. Now that's for the basic version. The meteorite dial will be available at launch sale price of $799, and it's going to go up to $1,040 US. So that's a $200 difference for the meteorite dial over the basic version. I have seen pictures of it, and if you like a meteorite dial, I think that's the way to go. It's absolutely stunning. And there's a 2-year warranty with every Zenea watch, which will help you buy with confidence. So I think it's pretty clear that I am a big fan of this Eula diver. There is one thing I would improve if I could, and it's not necessarily the lume, and it's not red on the screw of the screw down crown, although those are great touches. For me, I would love to see that red seconds hand just a little bit longer. I would love to see it reach out to the end of those indices. And I know it can be difficult sourcing just the right size and length of hand, and I do like the shape of it, but I would say that is the one thing that I might change if I had my way. So this watch that I'm holding you can buy right now for $599. Let's talk about that for a second. I think for microbrands, a lot of them come in around the $300-400 mark, and they sit comfortably there. And they compete with lower-end Seikos, Orients, and they often offer a greater value than some of these larger brands with better materials and maybe better customer service, a personal touch, and of course the fact that very few people are going to be walking around with that watch on your wrist if it's a microbrand. This one here is at $600. Now, if you watch my channel, you know that I am not a high roller watch collector. I am entry level, dabbling in a little bit of mid-tier. The most expensive watch that I own is an Alpina Star Timer, which was about 1,000 Canadian, 1,200 Canadian. And even that's in a box right now waiting for my birthday in December. So I have a hard time trying to contrast this watch with something that I own. Here's a watch that on the gray market costs about the same. And it's not a dive watch, but when I look at the fit and finish, I see that they're similar. When I look at the materials, they both have sapphire. This one does not have an undercoating for AV. Unfortunately, Hamilton tends to skimp on that kind of thing. The Zenea does. Another beautiful diver that I have is this Seiko Monster. And the Seiko Monster, again, is nicely finished, is something that feels great on the wrist, and I really enjoy it. Of course, steel bezel. I don't know. I don't know if I have anything that's really comparable to this. What I can say is that when I sit this down in my watch box, it definitely stands out. It definitely presents itself with the nicely applied markers, the quality materials, the great bracelet, the attention to detail. The ceramic bezel is very, very beautiful and catches the light. The Swiss Superluminova. I think that you're getting your money's worth at $5.99 with this. So here's what I would say. There's a lot of Hamilton's Tissot that you could buy for this price, although maybe not a lot of divers available at that price. There's a lot of Microbrands that you can check out at this price. If you like the look of this, if you dig the bold 6 and 12, and I really do, it gives it a bit of a sports watch vibe, even though it's a diver. If you like the look of it, I would take a gamble on this first offering from Zenea Watches. I've talked to the owner. He seems very conscientious. He's put a lot of work into it. He's done his homework. He's one of the most well-prepared of all of the companies that have sent a watch in to me, giving me fact sheets and making himself available to me. I think you can buy this with confidence. If you do receive one and there's any issue, I have a feeling that he is going to take care of you. So if you like the look of this, order now. You'll receive it mid to late January. And I think you're going to get a fantastic watch. This is the kind of watch you could buy this and wear this for the next 10 years without issue. You buy this, you buy a cheap dress watch, and you're set for almost every occasion, I think. So I want to thank Zenea Watches for sending this awesome watch in for review. I really enjoyed my time with it. I'm sad to see it go. If you ever find that this one needs a home and you want to send it back to me, I'd happily take it. And I want to thank all of you for watching. I really appreciate the support of all of you out there. Of course, if you're watching this and you feel like liking and subscribing, go right ahead. It really does a lot to prop up my fragile ego. Take care, everyone. Have a great day.